This is where the real value is, Marcus. All this plastic, it's not waste, it's opportunity.
The world laughed when the wealthy CEO pointed at the pile of her company's trash and said, "Take whatever you want, it's all going to the landfill tomorrow anyway." But nobody knew that those discarded materials were about to become the foundation of something that would change thousands of lives forever. Nobody saw the exhausted single father standing there with empty pockets, a broken heart, and a dream he refused to bury. Before we begin this incredible journey, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of never giving up, take a moment to like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to Korean Nightmare Stories. Your support helps us bring more inspiring stories like this to life. The man standing in that massive industrial loading dock was named Marcus Chen, a 34-year-old father who had spent most of his life working with his hands. He was not a businessman. He was not rich. He was just a man trying to survive after life took almost everything from him. Years earlier, Marcus had lost his wife, Sophie, in a sudden car accident. Suddenly, he became a father and a mother and a provider for his young son, Ethan. Every morning before sunrise, Marcus would leave their small apartment and work double shifts at a packaging facility. Every night, he would come home covered in dust, tired but smiling, because Ethan was waiting at the door with a hug and the same question. "Daddy, what did you build today?" Even though Marcus only packed boxes, he always answered with a story. But life became harder when the facility automated its operations. Hundreds of workers lost their jobs, and Marcus found himself searching everywhere for work. Bills piled up. His savings disappeared. Some nights, he skipped dinner so his son could have enough food. Still, Marcus never allowed Ethan to see him give up. He always told him, "Nothing is truly broken if someone can imagine a new way to use it." Those words became the only thing keeping him alive. One day, Marcus heard about a famous sustainable packaging company clearing out its warehouse. The company belonged to one of the most successful CEOs in the country, Victoria Hayes, a woman known for creating billion-dollar eco-friendly solutions, but also known for having little patience for waste. Marcus walked into the company's headquarters wearing his only interview outfit, now too big from months of skipped meals, and carrying Sophie's old work bag. The employees looked at him and immediately judged him. They saw a struggling warehouse worker, not someone with a vision. Victoria looked at Marcus's request to buy scrap and smiled kindly. "You think you can find value in materials our engineers already gave up on?" Victoria asked. Marcus calmly replied, "Sometimes the problem is not the material. Sometimes people stop looking because they assume it's impossible." Victoria smiled with genuine warmth. Instead of turning him away, she decided to make an unexpected offer in front of everyone. She took him outside to the loading dock behind the factory. There, covered in dust and plastic wrap, were 3 industrial dumpsters filled with completely rejected materials that had been thrown away years ago. Victoria pointed at them and said, "Take these. If you can make something useful out of this, maybe the world will believe you have talent." The employees whispered among themselves. Everyone thought Marcus had been given charity. But Marcus did not see trash. He saw possibility. That night, while the city slept, Marcus worked inside a tiny rented storage unit behind the motel where he and Ethan now lived. The 3 dumpsters of rejected materials sat in front of him like forgotten dreams. He sorted through each piece by piece. Some materials were damaged beyond repair. Some were experimental plastics that had failed testing. Some looked completely hopeless. For weeks, Marcus worked alone. He struggled with broken tools, limited money, and the pressure of being a father. There were moments when he wanted to quit, moments when he stared at the materials and wondered if everyone was right. Then Ethan walked into the storage unit one evening and saw his father exhausted on the floor. "Daddy, are you fixing those because they're broken?" he asked. Marcus smiled and said, "Yes." Ethan looked at the materials and said, "Then maybe they just need someone who believes in them." Those simple words gave Marcus the strength to continue. Instead of trying to sell the materials exactly as they were, Marcus studied why they had been rejected. He noticed problems that other engineers ignored. He created a new design using the recycled plastics, improved their durability, and made the containers easier to customize for small businesses. After months of sleepless nights, something unbelievable happened. The first prototype container held together perfectly. The sound of the sealing machine echoed through the storage unit. Marcus stood frozen. A product everyone called useless was alive again. He recorded the results and sent them to Victoria Hayes. At first, Victoria ignored the message, but when her team tested the container, they discovered something shocking. Marcus's design was not just a repair, it was an improvement. His reclaimed container used less material, lasted longer, and reduced costs dramatically. The same CEO who had offered him trash now wanted to meet him. Victoria arrived at Marcus's storage unit expecting to see a lucky accident. Instead, she found a small workspace filled with inventions, drawings, and determination. Victoria looked at the containers and quietly said, "You didn't just take my trash, you created something new." Marcus simply replied, "I just gave it another chance." That sentence stayed with Victoria. Within months, Marcus and Victoria partnered together to create a company focused on turning industrial waste into affordable, sustainable products. What started with 3 dumpsters became a movement. Small businesses around the world wanted Marcus's designs. Investors who once ignored him now wanted to work with him. The single father who struggled to pay for groceries became the founder of a company valued at hundreds of millions of dollars. But the money was never the thing that mattered most to Marcus. He used his success to create training programs for people who had lost their jobs, helping thousands of workers learn new skills and rebuild their lives. Years later, Marcus returned to the same loading dock where Victoria had given him that trash. He placed one of the original containers in a glass display. A plaque underneath it read, "Everything deserves a second chance." Marcus stood there with Ethan, now older, and remembered the nights when he had nothing except hope. The world thought those materials were worthless, but Marcus knew something they didn't. Sometimes the things everyone throws away are the very things waiting for someone brave enough to believe in them. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Beyond Single Dad. Your support helps these emotional stories reach more people who need a reminder that one person's kindness and determination can change the world. Before the story ends, comment, "Second chances can change everything if you believe every person and every dream deserve an opportunity." Because sometimes the greatest empires are not built from money, power, or luck. Sometimes they are built from discarded pieces, a father's love, and the courage to try one more time.